What's up guys, this is AustinMaresTV back here with a new series. And this series is basically a reaction series, but it's different from your ordinary try not to laugh reactions, you know, stuff like that. This time I want to do something that I haven't been seeing anyone do on YouTube at all. Something unique, something original that also strongly benefits you as a person. The videos that I react to during this series are going to be mainly like life-changing type of videos, like videos that will change your whole view of things, that hopefully like give you a new perspective on life in some of them. And also, like, even if it doesn't change your perspective, like deep videos that give you a deep message, like that can just change your whole mood of the day. Or like if you're in a bad situation or like going through bad things, like this can boost you up. Like that's the type of series I want this to be. And I know not everyone is religious and not everyone believes in God, and like some of the videos will be focused around that, and if you don't like that, that's fine. Throughout the video I'm gonna try not say too much, like let y'all really hear the message, and then afterwards like give my thoughts, like how I viewed it and all that, and basically let y'all take away what y'all want to take away from it. Okay, without further ado, let's get into the video, and all I ask is you come in with an open mind and just try and take away a message from it.
I remember it was on a Thursday. Matter of fact, let's take it back. Wednesday night, I found myself looking at these different YouTube clips and watching different out-of-body experiences and different films that, you know, they used to scare me. And I would watch it and it would blow me away. It would catch my attention. And it used to scare me so bad that I would wonder, my mind used to go in places like, God, is this stuff real? You know, I couldn't understand it because I've never been to that place. So I found myself praying. I remember walking outside of my apartment, and I was walking back and forth with my eyes closed and just started praying. And I asked God, I said, Lord, if you give me an out-of-body experience, you know, I vow to share your word and to tell the people what I saw. You know, not expecting that God was going to respond back to that, because I was just praying out. I was just praying, you know, not actually looking for a response. And after that night, the next morning, that Thursday, October the 2nd, I had a dream. And my spirit left my body. It was like I was in my apartment and my spirit got pulled out of my body. And I would go in these different transits, bright color lights. It was white, like, the best way I can explain it would be shoo, 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 all the different flashing lights. And I appeared before a blue sky with no clouds. It was like a blue place, no land, no trees, no grass, no water, nothing. There was nothing there but a blue atmosphere. And I would see this atmosphere goes millions of miles upon millions of miles where nothing existed. It was like nothing was hidden. Everything was revealed. Everything was before your eyes. You could see it. And we was in this clear kind of body form, some form of light, as you would refer to a soul or a spirit, and I could see through. It was so transparent, and in front of me was thousands among thousands similar to what I was, and thousands among thousands behind me. And I knew that it was some form of a soul. And in the middle of my chest were seeds, you know, multiple seeds. I didn't know what they were for, and I realized that I was the only being that could actually move out of my place and look and observe, smell, taste, you know, feel. All my senses were active at this point. And so, you know, I began to look around and to observe the things that I saw, not knowing that this was a dream. I thought this was reality. I thought this was actually happening, you know. And I looked forward, and there was this great shadow way in front of me, way at the end of the line. It was like thousands upon thousands of people in front of me, and there was a shadow, a great big shadow, but it had no detail. It was like as a vapor, and I could see that it was a shadow of something that was in the front. And I had many questions at this point in this dream, and out of nowhere, I heard these words for me, and this galaxy. Just what to call it, on the right side of God, you know, or Jesus Christ, you know, whoever you decide to identify that spot of judgment, on the right side of him, there was this big portal that opened up. And there will be stone. Move out of my place and look and observe, smell, taste, feel. All my senses were active at this point. And so, I began to look around and I could see that it was a shadow of something that was in the front. And I had many questions at this point in this dream, and out of nowhere, I heard these words: "Depart from me." And this galaxy, this portal, I don't know what to call it, on the right side of God, or Jesus Christ, whoever you decide to identify that spot of judgment, on the right side of him, there was this big portal that opened up, and there will be stones of fire. Normally when you get a lighter and you cut it on, try to spark a flame, but instead of fire, it was stones, and they will leak out of this portal. And whoever that guy said, "Depart from me," flew down this place, and the stones were so hot that it would burn everybody outside of that portal. On the left side of our body or our form, it would burn us, and everybody be like, "Ooh!" Like as if it was so cold or so hot, you would tell somebody to close that door. It's too cold. That's how hot it was. And the portal closed. And then he sent them so fast that the screams were late. I heard, "Ah!" Like, it was like, "Depart from me." And it closed up. Then the screams come, "Ah!" And it terrified me. And then out of nowhere, something snatched us up. And like we moved up the line. And I began to think, I didn't understand where we was. I'm like, oh my God, maybe this is judgment. Yeah, I had many questions, and I would hear, "Depart me, depart me, depart from me," and all these different people will be sent to hell. And the part that scared me the most was the people that were getting judged. You could hear when God was talking to them, and you could hear everything they got judged from. So if somebody went to hell for something that you struggled with in your life, you know where you were going. And so I'm just saying, people go, sit there, boom, boom. But I'm seeing the flame, and it's just constantly burning everybody outside that haven't been judged yet. And I could hear some of the people talking to God. And I remember there was a woman, blonde hair, and God was talking to her. He said, "I'm not judging you for what you put on Facebook, but I'm judging you on how everybody else received it." 300,000 people were led astray by one of her Facebook posts. And he said their blood was on her hands. And I don't know, he said, "Depart from me." And I'm talking about, I couldn't express how powerful his words were. It's as if he said, "Depart from me," and everything shook. And she was sitting with great force. And the portal opened up. Boom. She would go flash, and it would close. And the scream was so late, it terrified me. People, adultery, fornication, so many different things that I could actually hear. And people in front of me were terrified because a lot of those people were struggling or went through the same situation, and they never repented. So 1,000 sent here. They would flying. They was flying so fast. I've never seen something so fast. And it got to the point where I was next in line, and he called me up, and he started talking to me. And keep in mind that our life held us hand to hand. So anything we did in our life, our life testified against us. So you couldn't lie because your life testified. Say, "Yes, you did. You did this. You did this at this time. Yes, you did." And whenever God would speak to me, you would see a big screen, like you would see as if whatever God says, it comes to life. And so he started talking to me, and he started telling me everything that I could have did better. And at this point, I'm like, okay, God, I could have did this better. I did it. I did okay with it, but I could have did better. So he began to say other things, and he brought up this specific woman And he asked me, why didn't I forgive her? And he gave me her specific name. I'm not going to say it. He gave me her specific name. And I knew exactly what he was talking about. He asked me, why didn't I forgive her? I said, I did, God. I did forgive her. He said, well, if you forgave her, when you get on the phone and talk to her, why is it that you treat her like the situation happened all over again? And I'm like, God, but I did forgive her. He said, well, if you forgave her, why are those seeds still in your chest? And I looked down. I was like, oh my God. That's what those are for. Those are seeds of what I did in my life. The things I didn't forgive. So he was talking to me and I was like, oh my God. And he told me, he looked at me and said, because you didn't forgive her, I didn't forgive you some of your sins.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, oh my God. And he started telling me so many other things, and he ain't told me not one good thing yet. And at this point, I'm getting terrified because my mind is starting out going to a place where I'm imagining how hot this fire is going to be when this portal open. And so, you know, I'm scared. I didn't know how to explain how terrified I was. Words can't describe. When you meet God face, words can't describe how terrifying it is to look your Creator face to face. And where there's nothing hid from Him. There's nothing. Your inner thoughts are revealed before Him. Your perception, how you feel, everything that you hosted in this body is presented before Him. And so, you know, I got to a point where I didn't want to hear God no more. I was really turning my head because I was afraid that, you know, it's already made his mind up. I was so afraid. And so I turned my head, and he would just come to tell me everything that I didn't do right, or I should have did better. And at this point, I knew I was going to hell. I knew it. I was fully persuaded that this was it. So I turned my head, and I was like, I don't want to hear no more of it. You know, my mind, I'm just really trying to imagine how hot hell is going to be. I'm like, oh my God, Lord, I have no more chance. If I go down there, I can't come back. Like, Lord, please don't send me to hell. Please, like, God, please. I'm begging you. And I'm more terrified. I was more terrified than I can express. And so I turned my head, and at this point, I no longer wanted to hear what he had to say, because I knew at this point, you know, I was going to hell. And I would have my head turned, and out of nowhere, there was this one feeling that would come over the interface of my soul. And I would turn my head, it would go in slow motion, and the tears would fly from my face. And I looked at God, and I was looking at his judgment. What was going to be my judgment? And he looked at me, he said, face to face, you don't get it well done. You get it, you barely made it. And he stepped back and said, come. And at this point, I was so confused. I'm like, oh my God. And on the left side of God, heaven would open up, so soft, with brilliant lights. The colors were indescribable.
I'll be getting chills.
Like colors I've never seen before in my life. It was so pretty, so amazing. And the colors would blossom as they grow, as they grew, and the heaven will open up so gentle. And I will walk toward that direction, and my hand would go in the portal. And when my hand went through, it got bigger. My arm went through, it got bigger. It was like I was growing into a mature state of a glorified body. And so my leg went through, like got bigger, and you can see how big I got on the other side. And how my soul was being transformed into a glorified body. And my body would go through it, and only piece that was left behind was my leg. And right before my last foot got in, I woke up. The dream scared me so bad. I was underneath our living room table for hours. I was so terrified. I was terrified to move. I was terrified to do anything, because I was afraid it was going to be added to my judgment. I thought that was the judgment. That didn't feel like a dream. I could feel, I could taste, I could tell you how it made me feel. Everything was so alive in the dream. And at that moment, I was asking God, why did you give me this dream? He said, because I want you to warn my people that the things which you saw are the things that shall be. And I didn't realize that what I prayed for And the vow I made before God, that he was going to fulfill it. Now he's looking for my end to be fulfilled. So that's why I'm here talking to you right now. Forgive. Let go. I couldn't describe how many people that allow for unforgiveness to grow in them, and it caused a bitterness, which caused them to do things that they got judged for. That thing caused them not to make it to heaven. I was terrified. It was so many people went to hell, and it felt like I was the first one. Like I watched, it was thousands among thousands of people in front of me. That is scary to me. So today I encourage you to get it right with God. Get it right with your fellow friends, your enemies, that church hurt that causes you to attack people in silence. Go get it right, because hell is not worth it.
Alright, so let's just sit here and talk about that video. So that video right there is what basically led me to get into church. That video, like the message behind that was so deep to me, like it impacted, like that video gave me chills. Even this second time, this is the second time I watched it, and it still gave me chills throughout it. So like the message, you can really notice, like he really mentioned like how much people is actually going to hell for the actions they're doing right now, and like how many people are just on the wrong path. Like you notice how he kept on bringing up forgiveness. Like even when I saw this video, I did not know the importance of forgiveness until like a couple weeks ago at church. So like we was just talking, you know, a normal class. Like my church is really deep. Like this is the best church I've ever been to. Like it's not even boring whenever we have class. Never. Cause the messages, they're so powerful, and like they really hit home. No matter who's preaching, like they really got that foundation behind their message. But anyways, we was learning about forgiveness, and like in the Bible, I didn't know this, but God can't forgive you if you're constantly not forgiving others. So he can't forgive your sins if you're constantly worried about like what other people did to you and you're not forgiving that. It's basically a cycle. Like if you're not following what he wants you to do, he's not gonna do what you want him to do, because that's basically using him. There's a whole lot of people who don't understand that. Some people think it's some things you can't forgive. Like say someone did you super wrong in the past. Let me bring up something. Like last week. Alright, so this isn't too huge, but it would be for some people. Alright, so I had this guy come over who owes me some money for cutting his hair. Alright, no big deal. I've gave him some weeks. I wasn't even worried about it at this point. Like it's just $10-15. Like that isn't nothing. Like I can make that back. I don't even have to worry about it at this point. But anyways, like he comes back like 3 weeks after I cut his hair. He's like, I finally got your money, you got change for 100. So I go to my crib, get the change for 100, and meet him out at his car where he has the 100. So I'm giving him the 420s and all that money, and then as he hands me the 100, keep in mind he's in the passenger seat, his girl's the one driving. So as I hand him the change, and as he's handing me the 100, his girl speeds off like as soon as the 100 touches my hand. And he told me he was in a rush, so I did not think nothing about it at the time. Like nothing. As I go in, I have the 100 in my hand, and I'm feeling on it. And like it's not feeling like 100. Like this shirt is feeling like paper. Like and as soon as I get inside, I sit down and slowly open it up, because he handed it to me folded up. And on the back of it, I promise you, it says for motion picture use only. And like I'm just like, dang man. Like, and then I got mad. Like I was mad. Like this man just ripped me off. He took like $90, $85 or something like that from me and gave me a fake 100 movie money, like prop money. And like, you know, I'm only 16, and some 16-year-olds, they aren't even getting money like that. Like, I'm blessed to be in a financially stable situation that I'm in. Like, I can make money off YouTube. I make, like, good money off cutting hair. I make money off deals with companies. Like, I'm financially blessed right now. But, like, some people, like, $90 is a whole lot to them. That could take months to save up for them. But, like, even if it was like thousands, like say he stole $1,000, but sooner or later I would have to forgive him. It just doesn't do no good holding it in my heart all the time, all this time, just negative vibes towards him and like hating him just because he took some money. You just gotta move on, because hating him or not forgiving him will not change the situation. It will not make it better. I'm not getting no money from that. I'm just staying down in the dumps, and also I'm not fulfilling what I need to do for God. I'm not saying that you still have to be buddies with them. Like, say if we was real good friends and he did me that, like did me wrong. And I'm not saying that you still have to be friends and act like nothing happened. I'm just saying you gotta forgive him and move on. And like, all is over, all is done. Just, I can't do business with you the same no more since you ripped me off. But you know, it's good, it's straight. Like, I'm gonna get over it, I'm gonna move on, and that's that. And I know some people, they be like, nah man, he owes me money. I'm not moving on until he gives me that money. He owes me, and I'm not moving on, or we're squaring, we're jacking, man. Like I know people like that. Like, what is this man talking about? This man stole 90 from him? I would be beating the sleeves off dude right now. But you can't be like that, bro. Like, you just can't. Like, money is gonna be gone when this whole life is over. It's not gonna mean nothing. This YouTube equipment, this $900 camera, this $500 MacBook, this like $150 mic and stuff like that I just bought, even my YouTube channel or any of that stuff you got going for yourself, it's not gonna mean nothing when you die. Like, it's not even gonna be there. Like, you just gotta take that into consideration. Like, this is just a temporary life. And you gotta get over things. You gotta keep on pushing through the hard times. You gotta just keep it moving. Man, that's the whole message. Just keep it moving and keep living holy. Keep living for God. Hit me up on my social media with like questions, or like if you need to get in contact with any type of people like that you can just talk about life with, or like any tough situations, or talk about God with. I'll try to find people that I can get you in contact with. I want to help all y'all out. I want to make all y'all's life better. I really care about y'all, because y'all are like family. Share this with your friends, like anyone that you think you can make a big change in their life to. Just let them know about this video, have them watch it, all that. But anyways, this is AustinMaresTV, and I'm out.